Hi everyone, I'm just going to show you how to assemble the folio with the basic page layout. So first of all we're going to cover our grey board. Now I'm covering it with our acid-free black frame tiger tape. You can also use an A4 Pebeo marker, give it a good shake. This is absolutely brilliant if you've got quite shaky hands or you don't get on with the tape, and you can just go around the edges like this. It gives you a really nice deep black coverage, and you can go on the sides as well like that. So this is a really good alternative method. I'm just going to use the wraparound method, which is where we take our tape and we're just going to go centrally in the middle. Okay, pop that down, gently pull your tape a bit more, wrap it round, just so it's sitting in the middle of the tape. Can you see? You can see that. And then again here. Let's pop that there, and then we'll just snip this. You can tear this tape, but I like to snip it. Just run your multi-purpose tool along the edge, and then if you just very lightly pinch in the corners, so you end up with almost like a guideline, and then you're just going to snip very lightly in there. And you need a sharp non-gluey pair of scissors for this bit, and in there. And really you don't want to cut that bit off, because you can end up with grey board poking through, but don't panic, there is a way around that. I'll pop that there, and these scissors are so sharp. Right, okay, so if you haven't snipped your little corner off, you're just going to fold it over, a little bit of tension, fold it over and put it on like that. And you're going to take this side, just rub your thumb along the edge here, and then just run it like that. Okay, and I think we'll probably be okay with the grey board. So then you're going to fold this one over here, one end over here, and then this end over here. And we've been lucky, we've got away with it, there's no grey board showing. But don't worry if there was, you can just use a black pen just to fill in if there's any grey board showing. So that's nice and flat, but I'm not going to burnish it properly yet because I need to lay the tape down on the other side. I'm going to turn it over, do exactly the same thing, little pinch, and then we'll just go here and there. And I'll pull that one there, and the same here. Snip into it, and there as again. Oh, I can see I haven't done that enough, so just do it a bit more. And that bit's come off, but don't worry, just pop that on there. Okay, and same as before, run along the edge first. At this point you might find it easier to run along the edge with your bone folder. Then just put the tape over. If you struggle with getting the tape over, stand it up, just fold it over like that, and then you give it a good burnishing. Okay. And this tape is very forgiving. So if you tear it, when you burnish it, it looks like the seams join together really nicely. If you struggle doing it with the round the tape method like that, you can do it just laying your grey board down and just doing each piece in turn. So do a strip there, snip it, and then carry on that way. So the next thing I'm going to do is cover the ends of my spine, and you need to make sure that you cover enough both sides so that the black will be showing from your decorative paper. So what I would probably do is, let's take a piece first, just go over the edge, let's just trim it. Okay, that bit's on there, and then each side I'm just going to add another bit up, so I've got a nice coverage going all the way up. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to trim these edges because we don't want them sitting in the spine hinges. Okay, and I'm going to pop another bit that side. I'll give that a good burnish. It's really difficult to see where the join is. In fact, it's virtually impossible. Put that one there, and then we'll do the same the other end. Actually, I've just discovered, haha, who knew, the actual width of the tape is wide enough to go round. So if you just cut a longer length, let's do that. If you just cut a longer length, like this, pop it on there, and then it's beautifully covered both sides. So do that way instead of that way, and then we're going to join it together to make our cover. So I'm going to use my hinge spacers, and I'm using 1/4 of an inch hinge spacers. So, a strip of tape, put this on here, pop that on there. It's about, in fact I'll probably go a little bit further in, because that's going to stick your cover, so probably about 1/3 of the way in. It's better. And make sure you leave space at the top for folding over. Let's see, that one there, and that one there. Okay, and then you're going to pop your hinge spacer there, and your hinge spacer there. Okay, and then you're going to put your spine in there. That's going to lock into place. Let's lift it up a bit. That's locked into place nicely there, so you know you've got 1/4 of an inch there, and this is all lined up top and bottom beautifully. Take that one out, and that one, pull that one over, and then you're just going to go over and give that a snip. Don't burnish it, just leave it light like that. Okay, and then, sorry, I'm just straightening it. Kay likes to tear her tape, but I like mine nice and straight, but it doesn't matter which you do. It's personal preference. Okay, that's that one on there. That's that one on there. Again, it's about 1/3 of the way in. Pop your hinge spacers on. That one there. And that one there. And then you're going to take your other cover and lock that into place there. So again, push that one in, that's it. So again, you know you've got 1/2 an inch there, and it's level top and bottom. So just take those out, and that one, pop that there. Pop that there. Snip that there. Okay. Now before you do anything else, just very lightly bend, and then you can take your multi-purpose tool, and I'm using the rounded tip end. Just burnish it a little bit, and then go on the side of your bone folder or your multi-purpose tool and just do that there. Turn it round, do that there, turn it over, do the same here. Give it a good burnishing. And the same here now. Okay. And then I'm just going to write on here, because this is where I have my seams, although it's hard to see, inside with an arrow going up, inside with an arrow going up. And that's my cover made. So it's nice and flexible. The hinges are nice and flexible, but they're strong. The tape is acid free and it is very strong. So the next thing I need to do is actually do my page layouts, and there is a PDF, a free PDF for the page measurements and layouts that's available on our website. Just go onto our website and search for Mini Folio PDF. That's just for the page measurements and assembly. So I'm just going to get these in order. That's right. Okay, left, first. What's that there? I don't know what that is. I'll put that there. Right, okay, so what I've done here is I've actually done my pages so that some of them have a 1/4 inch, quite difficult to see, some of them have a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch hinge, okay, which will be the bottom one, and then the one that's going to sit on the top is actually going to have a 1/4 inch hinge. In fact, let me show it that way for you, it's easier. So that will be your 1/4 of an inch hinge there, and that helps to allow you to put more dimension on your pages. Okay, so I'm starting with the lift up flap, which is, we're working from the bottom up. So if you looked at this, take that up, it would be that one that we're sticking first. That has an 1/8 of an inch hinge, so we're going to stick that one on first. So I've scored it at 1/2 inch and then 5/8 of an inch, and now I'm going to burnish these folds, and I always find it easier to warm the cardstock very gently with my hands first, and then I'm going to start from the middle and go down and go up. If you start from one end, it's easy for your hand to slip and put more pressure on, and your line won't be straight. So that's the first one, a nice crisp score. But then you need to do the next one, which is really teeny tiny. Again, you can use your thumb and finger to just very lightly sort of roll the cardstock and roll it into the score line. You can also use, if you've got a ruler, you can pop a ruler up against it. You can do it like that, and then just gently run your tool down there first, and then go over and do exactly the same. And then these score lines need to be burnished beautifully. I know I go on about it, but it is important. Okay, so when we hold this up, you will see you've got a beautiful, I don't know how easy that is for you to see, 1/8 of an inch, just there, 1/8 of an inch gusset, well, hinge. So that's your first one. Your second one, that is a lift out flap, just has a straightforward 1/2 inch flap allowance like that, and then your top one has a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So we're going to stick the left hand side first. So look at it here. So the one that's the 1/8 of an inch, the lift up flap, you're going to stick that first, and you want to stick it approximately, it's about 1/4 of an inch top and bottom, an 1/8 of an inch from the inside edge here, and an 1/8 of an inch from there as well. So you can do this by eye, or you can do it using our alignment strips, whatever's easiest for you really. And if you're sticking any of these pages, if you're sticking them onto tape, whatever type of tape it is, use a good bookbinding glue. Don't use double-sided tape, because tape on tape is not always a good strong combination long term. So I'm just going to pop that there, going up a little bit. Okay. Then I'm going to just flip this up, just run in. Oh, I've moved it. That's it. Just flip it up, put it down gently with your fingers, and then lift it over. Make sure those two sides are straight. Give it a good burnish. Okay, so that's your first flap. Then your next one's going to be your sideways flap that lifts out. So we'll lift this one up here, and this is going to lift out to the side that way. So you're going to put your glue on again. Don't have too much glue, but you need enough to get a good coverage. And one of our glue brushes is perfect for this. This is just a bit quicker showing you how to do it. So this time I'm going to line the edge of the fold up with the edge of the flap from the lower score line, so that when that flips over you've got your 1/8 of an inch sitting on top like that. So that's that one. Just going to straighten it up a smidge. You have a little bit of wiggle room because you're sticking it onto the tape, but not much. I'll wipe that off, and you can see here, I know it's difficult with black, but here and here, that's my 1/8 of an inch guide there. So that's that one there. And then I need my top flap, which is going to open out like this one here. Okay, so I need to make sure that my flap is opening out that way. Yep. Okay. And here you've got your, if I move that out of the way, you've got your 1/4 of an inch hinge. So let's stick that one. And then you're going to do exactly the same thing, but this time you're going to lift the flap up, lift that one up, and you're going to stick this one so that this bit before the fold is level there and there, and it's approximately 1/8 of an inch in from the spine line, and it lines up with the edges here. Just keep your hand on there, fold that over, make sure that's going to go over okay. It's annoying. So line up this top edge with your lower score line there, like that. Make sure it's straight. Straight with the flap that's folding down. Right, so that one theoretically will go, that will go there, that will go there, and that will fit over there like that. Okay, you just need to take a bit of time. I'm just going to burnish this one in. Just need to take a bit of time lining it all up. Okay, and I can see that I've bent my, that's it. Okay, so that's that side done there, and then afterwards you would be adding your magnets to make sure that things close. So that's that side. So on this side you're going to have what I call a concertina flap that's going to open out like this, and this one has the 1/8 of an inch dimension here, because once you've decorated your inside cover you're going to put an 1/8 of an inch depth pocket there, so that 1/8 of an inch will allow that to lay nice and flat like that. Again, all the measurements are in the PDF for you. So I've already burnished, but I can feel, now I don't know if you can see that there, can you see that there? That's not laying as flat as I'd like it to, so that's an indication that I need to give it a bit more burnishing, because it's really important that these lay nice and flat. Right, if you look now, that's much better. So okay, so this one is going to stick same as the one we did before. It's going to be about an 1/8 of an inch in from both sides. It might be a little bit more than an 1/8 of an inch, not much, from both sides. It's going to be the same equidistant top and bottom as the left side. So we'll pop this on. And when I was at the Bartistry workshop, I had the basic folio made like this, and then I started adding more additional flips and flaps inside, and that's what the come one come all sort of mini monster folio turned out as. And I will do a tutorial on how I built it, but I wanted to get this one out first so that at least you had something to work with. Right, so is that level there? No, I can see that needs to go up a bit. Okay, so that's about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge here. If I pull that across, this is a good tip actually, you can see that it's nice and straight with the other side. So you just wake that out, put that there. Okay, so that's that one done there. And then your other one that's going to lift out opposite to this one, it's going to lift out this way. This is the one that has the 1/4 inch allowance with the hinge, so you're just going to stick that one like this. Okay, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. Lift that one out of the way. Pop this here. So it's equidistant, it's in line. And now at this point slide that one back under. So you can see you've got it straight, nice and straight. Yeah, if you want to you can flatten it down like that. Just flatten the hinge down with your fingers just for a minute and you can see that's not quite straight. Move it a smidge. Okay. Give that oh, don't do what I just did then. Do it with the tip of your bone folder. I just caught that sharp bit in there, but don't worry, we'll be able to sort that out. In fact, we'll sort that out now before we stick this bit down. So hoik that off, take a bit of black tape and just pop that in there. Put that one above where that's going to be. So there's always ways around things. So that's repaired now. So now we're going to, yep, that's fine. As I say, this tape is really strong, but if you poke something sharp into it, it will tear. That's the first time I've ever done that, but it's good that it's on video because you'll be able to see what to do. Not do what I did. Okay, right, so that's stuck there. So that's your 1/4 inch hinge. So you're going to line it up. Make sure it's 1/8 of an inch in. Make sure, yeah, that all lines up nicely. Flatten it down with your fingers a little bit. I think that is easier to do it that way. Flip this open. Take your multi-purpose tool. Give it a good burnishing. That's it. Okay, and then you would have you'd have it decorated, you'd have your pocket there, you'd have your 1/8 of an inch one there, and that one there, and that is your folio completed. And then we've just got to decorate it, which will be the next tutorial. Bye!